Sobrang nakakagulat na balita. Grabe si Senator Win Gatchalian nagulat. Tumestigo na si Vince Dizon. Binulgar ang flood control mastermind. Tinuro kay BBM ang mga kasabwat. Ayon sa nakalap nating impormasyon, tahasang paglaglag kay dating Secretary DPWH Manuel Bonoan ni Vince Dizon, ang dating kalihim daw ang nagpalobo ng unprogrammed funds. Inaalam pa kung sino ang mga kasabwat niya sa flood control. Walang sisinuhin kulong ang hatol ni BBM sa lahat. Grabe si Senator Win Gatchalian nagulat. Tumestigo na si Vince Dizon. Binulgar ang flood control mastermind. Tinuro kay BBM ang mga kasabwat. Tara panoorin natin.
Mga flood control nakikita natin in 2023, 24, 25. Ito ba parte ba ito ng isang malaking master plan, or is this part of a roadmap? Based on your, wala pa kayo that time, but based on your investigation, I'm sure tinignan nyo rin to. Is this part of a study, a feasibility study, a plan? Kasi ang laki, no? For example, in 2023, just on programmed alone, 281 billion. On 2024, 350 billion. So, is this part of a larger flood control study?
Yan po ang unang-una kong tinanong din, Mr. Chairman. At ang sagot ay hindi po. In fact, marami po sa mga nakita ko mismo at nakita din po ng ating Pangulo, wala nga ho kahit plano eh. So definitely it was not part of the ongoing master plan for the 18 river basins. It was not part of the Central Luzon mitigation plan. Wala po. Hindi po sila part ng mas malaki o pangmalawakang master plan.
Kasi nung
Mr. Chairman,
natandaan ko, Secretary, nung mayor ako, merong tinatawag na Kamanava Flood Control Master Plan sa mga matatagal, no? And I remember that time it was JICA. JICA yon. And it was a continuous meeting. Nung mayor ako, continuous meeting yun. In fact, Japanese nga yung kausap namin at that time. And then, I remember also, correct me if I'm wrong, sa mga matatagal na sa DPWH, kinancel to ni Secretary Singson because mas mura pag tayo gagawa, no? Which I agreed, no? Kasi sabi niya mahal pag JICA, tayo na lang gumawa noon. If my memory is correct, DPWH na gumawa, local na gumawa kasi nakatipid tayo ng, I think ang proposal ng JICA is about, that time mga 12 to 15 billion, nagawa natin in 3 to 4 billion. Pero may plano, no? Baka I might be baka pasunay memory ko, but ang punto ko lang naman dito, may plano, no? Nakita ko yung plano, yung dike papuntang Malabon, all the way to Navotas, all the way to Ubando, may bomba sa Valenzuela. So may plano 'yon, natatanda ko. Ito mga project na ito, meron bang mga plano ito? May mga ganyan ba?
Wala po.
Localize.
Wala po, Mr. Chairman.
Oo. And then paano pinipili ngayon yung project? How do you, kung walang plano, paano sabihin na, okay, for this LGU, itong project ang piliin nyo. For this LGU, itong project na piliin nyo. How, is there a selection process sa projects?
Ang sagot ko po sa inyo, hindi ko po alam kung paano nila pinili yung mga proyektong yan. Dahil nga po, unang-una, hindi naman po yan parte ng master plan. Hindi po yan parte ng, halimbawa po, yung mga flood control na ginawa sa Quezon City, yung pong isinumite ni Mayor Joy Belmonte sa ICI. And I think Director Aurora will confirm with you, hindi yung kasama dun sa master plan for NCR. Am I correct? So tama po, hindi din po kasama. Hindi din po ito dumaan sa Regional Development Council. Wala din po yan doon. No, hindi ko alam kung merong ilan doon na nasa RDC plan. Pero I would think majority po, vast majority, hindi din po kasama sa RDC. So,
localized na mga flood control, kaya sinabi sa amin, localization, very particular sa amin yun. Iniisip ko baka may mga ganun na localized, hindi siya river basin.
By and large po, dito sa mga inimbestiga namin, Mr. Chairman, hindi po yun ang nakita namin. We could be wrong kasi hindi pa naman po namin nakikita lahat. Hindi po namin na iimbestigahan lahat ng mga napakaraming flood control dating back from even the past 5-10 years. No? Hindi pa po namin nakikita yan. Pero ito pong mga nakita namin, Wala po.
Kagaya po kasi madalas kami magdala ng tulong sa Hagonoy, Paumbong, magkakatabi yan eh. Actually, Ubando, Bulacan, Hagonoy, magkakatabi yan. Wala ba silang master plan in that area? At least localized?
Meron pong meron po nga yung yung Central Luzon, floodway master plan. Pero hindi po kasama yung mga ginawa sa Bulacan, First District, lalo na ng Bulacan. Pero Mr. Chairman, wag na po tayong lumayo. Yung pong flood control na katabi ng bahay ninyo sa Valenzuela, yung pong sa creek, nakalimutan ko lang anong pangalan ng creek na yun. Katabing-katabi po ng bahay ninyo na pinuntahan namin mismo ni Mayor West Gatchalian. Nagtataka po si Mayor West, bakit po nagtayo doon? At sinasabi niya, wala namang kasama, hindi naman kasama yun sa plano. Pero itanayo po yun. So isa pong ehemplo yun.
Yeah, kasi i-connect ko ito dito sa unprogrammed funds na binuksan ni Senator Joel kanina. Kasi I'll flash the slide 8. Nakita ko kasi yung 2023 ang unprogrammed funds na pumunta sa DPWH is about 60 billion, of which 25 billion or 41% pumunta sa flood control or flood mitigation. In 2024, lumaki yung pumunta sa DPWH, almost double, 155. Tapos yung flood control lumaki rin na from 41% naging 55%. So, in other words, there's a conscious effort na palakihin yung flood control allocation eh. No, merong nag-isip na dapat palakihin natin yan. Kasi inisip ko baka may plano o baka mayroong target. And then if you go to in next slide, Carla, pag titignan natin yung program na flood control in 2023, it's 281. Pag dinagdag natin yung unprogram, lalabas 300 billion. Sa 2024, hamak na lumaki. Yung program is 350, tapos kumuha pa sa unprogram na 85, ang ating flood control almost kalahating trilyon. Ang tawag ko nga dito, ganid eh. Kasi may conscious effort palakihin yung flood control in 2024. No? So, ang iisip ko, baka naman merong gustong tapusin na master plan, merong plano na malaki na gustong tapusin. Pero kung lumalabas wala, then request lang sila ng request na walang pupuntahan. Kasi walang target eh. And yung unprogram, ito yung kanina sinabi ni Senator Joel, ito na yung mga controversies na lumalabas. No? Dito na rin yung mga substandard project, yung iba dyan, mga ghost project. So ang tanong ko, Secretary, sino ang nagre-request nitong unprogrammed projects? Who among in the DPWH hierarchy is requesting this unprogram? Kasi merong conscious effort eh. Meron siyang plano eh. Pero lumalabas ngayon nga, sabi nyo, wala namang plano. No? Random yung pagbibigay ng project. At kung random yan, sino ang nagre-request? And then pangalawa, ano yung basis niya ng pagre-request? Kasi ang laki, mo, from 25 billion, naging 85 billion times 3 ang request sa unprogram. Unprogram, rini-request yan ha. Diba? Alam nyo naman yun, pupunta ka doon, magre-request ka. No? Iba pa yung pag-a-approve. Ito, request lang. So, sino yung nagre-request?
Tinanong ko po ang ating mga undersecretary at klaro naman po ang rules. Ang nagre-request po nitong unprogram accounts, unprogram funds, is no less than the secretary of the department.
So, lahat ito dadaan sa kanya?
Kailangan po, ang secretary lang po, ang may authority at pwedeng mag-request ng unprogram accounts.
So kahit
po ang sinabi
kahit na yung mga project ay sabi nyo nga wala sa plano, patse-patse, random in nature, siya pa rin ang magre-request.
Wala pong iba according to the undersecretaries. Under the rules for unprogrammed fund, it is only the secretary that can request.
Ano naman ang kanyang basis? Anong prioritization niya? Mayroon bang basis siya lang ginawa? Mayroon bang at least some scientific basis?
Ako po hindi ko masasagot, Mr. Chairman. No, hindi ko po masasagot. I cannot give a answer to something that I I don't know anything about. No? Meaning, ang secretary lang po nung time na yun na nag-request niyan, ang makakasagot niyan kung ano ang basis.
That's fair enough, no? Wala kayo. Pero nakita ko kasi dito, sa laki ng hiningi sa program, at yun na nga, sinasabi ko nga sa inyo, in ang program kasi may conscious effort to pa humingi eh. Unlike doon sa program, nandiyan na yan sa budget nyo, gastusin nyo na
Tama
lang.
po.
Diba? Ang program, hihingiin nyo yan eh.
Tama po.
At hiningi niya from 25 billion to 85 billion. So may plano, hindi ko alam kung masamang plano o magandang plano, no? Pero dito na rin tayo nagkaroon ng problema dahil dito na lumabas yung mga substandard, dito na rin lumabas yung mga ghost project at narinig natin kanina Senator Joel, diyan na lumabas yung mga problema. At ang kagandahan naman, this coming 2026, tinanggal na itong infrastructure saan program, no? Ang balita, ang nakita namin sa GAB na from 80 billion bumaba na yung unprogrammed funds to 45 billion at limited na ito to assistance to social programs, no? So tinanggal na. So even yung mga roads sa unprogrammed, wala na rin 'yon, no? So ang punto ko lang naman I'm trying to make is kung walang plano, bakit nagre-request, no? Ang laki-laki na nga ng pondo, 350 billion na nasa program. Bakit pa nag-request ng additional 85 billion na wala namang plano, walang goal?
Mr. Chairman, ako po, bihira po akong hindi sumagot sa tanong. Pipigitin ko po laging na makasagot. Pero in this case po, wala po talaga akong maibigay na sagot sa inyo kung bakit request.
Yeah. Well,
Mr. Chair, if I may lang regarding
yes, go ahead.
Napansin na pag-usapan na rin po ito sa Blue Ribbon Committee hearing, no. Napansin lang po namin ang unprogrammed appropriations ay tumaas, no, from 2021 yung GAA noon 176 billion. Panahon ng pandemya 'yon, maraming mga prioridad na binibili ang gobyerno. 2022 tumaas po 251 billion ang program. 2023 807 billion, 2024 731 billion, 2025 531 billion. Okay lang naman po ito kung gagamitin po sa tama, lalong-lalo na sweldo, health emergency allowances. Sa totoo lang yung mga nagki-claim ng kanilang HEA, batas naman po ito, health emergency allowances, pahirapan pa. Pero pag ito pong mga flood control, ang bilis pong tumataas, nare-release po yung kanilang pondo. Kaya po I am against unprogram dahil unprogram appropriations dahil naabuso po talaga sa ngayon. Okay lang kung gagamitin sweldo sa mga kababayan natin, mga nasa gobyerno. Ito pong tulong, social services, pero naabuso eh. Nagiging pork barrel na po itong unprogrammed appropriations. Sana po matigil na po ito. At I am one with the committee chair, Senator Win, na kumari nga lang po, tanggalin na talaga. Maging zero na po itong unprogrammed appropriations. Dahil hindi po ito basta-bastang nasisilip ng mga kababayan natin, masyadong naabuso, malawak po yung kanyang naging broad po ang paggamit ng unprogrammed appropriations. Pataas ng pataas eh, every year. Buti na lang po ngayon, bantayan natin at bumaba at wag po gamitin sa infrastructure or sa flood controls. Salamat po, Senator Win. Mr. Chair.
Thank you,
Mr. Chairman, if I may lang po, no, I'm
Senator,
just verifying it. But for 2026 po, I'm just verifying the information. But wala pong unprogrammed appropriations ang DPWH. No, meron ba sa foreign assistance?
I think foreign assisted.
Except
Foreign
po for foreign assisted. Ito po ay yung loan proceeds. But this is really just budget cover, Mr. Chairman. Kasi loan proceeds po ito. Ibig sabihin, ito po pondong to ay manggagaling sa ating mga nagpapautang sa atin, no? Para sa iba't ibang proyekto ng ng DPWH. Pero yung pong pinakita ninyong mga local na infrastructure for 2026, wala po yan sa DPWH. For the record lang po, Mr. Chairman.
Sir.
Go ahead, Senator Marklet.
Secretary, yung tungkol dun sa program, ang sabi mo kanina, ang nagre-request lang ay yung secretary, sang-ayon sa feedback ng mga kasama mo. Siyang nag-request o pina-request sa kanya?
Again po, hindi ko masasagot yan, Mr. Chairman.
Kasi po, ganito ngayon po, 2026, pwede natin gawin pala na wala na yung program except yung mga foreign assisted projects. Kasi alam natin dyan, may feasibility study naman. Nakasisiguro tayo dyan na talagang hindi talaga magkakaroon ng puwang yung mga kawatan dyan. Sapagkat mahigpit din naman ang pagpapatupad dyan. Ano? Pero ba't natin nagawa na nawala yung program 2026? Bakit hindi natin nagawa 25, 24, 23, and even prior years?
Again, pasensya na po, pero hindi ko po talaga masasagot yan. Hindi ko po pwedeng, I cannot speculate as to why those funds were appropriated under a program appropriations in the years 21, 22, 23, 24, etc.
Tama kasi
Pero
sinabi
po,
ni
ngayon,
Chairman, wala naman kayong paggagamitin yan, wala kayong goal, wala kayong objectives, pero nire-request ng secretary, pero ako ang tingin ko, hindi siya mismong nag-request, merong nagpa-request sa kanya.
yan po ay
Tatango-tango si Yusek Adore, palagay ko masarap.
importante po matanong po siguro natin ang former
Salamat,
secretary
Mr. Chair.
tungkol dyan. Salamat
Thank you,
po.
Secretary. I'll jump to another topic before I recognize the others. And this is on the kayo nag-BCDA kayo, 'di ba? In your experience, ang honest to goodness bidding, okay? Kung may laban-laban talaga na walang collusion, ano ang savings na makukuha ng gobyerno from the indicative price or ABC in this case? More or less lang, more or less. Honest to goodness na laban-laban na bidding.
Sa aking pagkakaalala po, umaabot po ng definitely above 10, maybe sometimes even 15% ang nabababa, no? Siguro on average mga 10% po ang maibababa sa ABC o yung actual budget for the contract.
Yes.
No, kung ito po ay nabit, no, ng transparently.
Yes, kung
no?
talagang may laban-laban,
Opo.
honest to goodness.
Opo. Pero ang importante din po doon is kailangan maging wari din po tayo. Ito po ay sinabi sa akin ni Secretary Babe Singson, no, na nung kapanahunan din niya is DPWH merong ABC pero meron ding tawag doon yung floor. No, ibig sabihin may ceiling at may floor. Kasi hindi din po pwedeng kahit ano na lang kasi minsan po merong mga mananadya na para manalo lang talagang ibababa at magsasuffer naman po yung proyekto. Yun po ang kwento sa akin ni Secretary Babe Singson nung kami nag-usap. Pero sa BCDA po, 10%.
I think 10% is reasonable across different agencies.
Opo.
Kung honest to goodness
Opo.
bidding. Kasi hiningi namin sa DPWH yung bidding results ng top 15 contractors na pinangalanan ng ating Pangulo. At i-flash ko lang number 6. At nakita namin, yung pagtitignan ninyo yung variance, ABC to awarded cost. Diba? Napakalaki na kung 3%. No? Diba? Makikita nyo 2%, 1%, 3%. Swerte ka na, jackpot ka na kung 3%. Pero yung ABC to current cost, meaning may mga variance na yan, meron ng mga yung work variance, nawawala na nga yung pagkatipid ng gobyerno Makikita natin 1%, 1.4%. So in other words, in my own analysis dito, walang bidding nangyayari. No? Talagang
Bidding.
focus pagdating doon sa bidding dahil walang 10%. No? Hindi nakakatipid ngayon gobyerno na pag ipapasok mo pa yung mga change order, aabot lang mga 1.3%. Iba 0. Pag titignan natin yung QM builders, 0.072% lang ang natipid ng gobyerno. No? So, I just want to point this out to you, Secretary, dahil isa sa mga reformang dapat natin gawin is yung bidding process. And alam ko ngayon naka-live stream na, pero kahit na live stream, kung pag-uusapan na sa labas ng live stream, wala rin eh. No? I think we should go digitalization. Dapat internet-based na or nasa internet na yung bidding process. Laban-laban na lang sa internet. Parang kung andyan yung project, laban-laban na lang. Ang punto ko lang naman dito, i-reforma natin yung bidding process and let's have an honest to goodness, transparent, and fair bidding process. Kasi ngayon, sila na lang ang naglalaban-laban.
Mr. Chairman, no, very, very important po yung sinasabi nyo ngayon. No? In fact, ang una ko pong tinanong, dahil nung ako po bago bumalik sa gobyerno, ako po nasa private sector. At para sa akin po, nakita ko po mismo yung transparency at effectiveness nung bidding po sa Department of Energy. No, yung e-bidding, no, where ang mga meron pong mga, kunyari po, yung mga green energy auction, yan po ay nasa internet po yan at live. No, wala pong wala pong halos sa human intervention diyan, no? At yun nga po ang unang tinanong ko, meron bang sistema ang DPWH o ang DBM for e-bidding? Kasi para sa akin po, yun ang pinaka-epektibo. Dahil po pagka e-bidding, yan po wala na pong wala pong human intervention dyan. And apparently, meron po atang sistema, pero hindi pa lang po ata nagagamit. Tama po ba ako? No? So, tingin ko po, that is a major reform na sana po ma-implement natin. No? At yun po ang ating objective, ma-implement po yan sa DPWH. Kasi nakikita po natin, sa DOE po, it's working very well. No?
Tari, kasi alam naman natin na outside of that live stream, may collusion na, may usapan na. Pagdating ng live stream naman, lahat naman yan, kumbaga scripted na eh. No? So, hindi natin na-realize in 10%, 15% savings. Dito pa lang, if you're talking about 500 billion, ang 10% savings is 5 billion na kaagad. Diba? So that's on bidding alone. No? That's on 50 billion. No? That's on bidding alone. So sa 500 billion na worth of projects, 50 billion alone, it's on bidding kaagad, no? Ang masisave natin. So this is one process na kailangan i-electronic or digitalize natin. And I'll support the e-bidding kung kailangan na mag-rechannel ng budget. Ang punto ko lang, if we need to invest in digitalization, let's invest in digitalization.
Very, very, this is very, very appreciated po, Mr. Chairman. Dahil kahit na po may gastos dyan, yung gastos kung iko-opera po sa matitipid, napakalayo po niya. Talaga. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We recognize Senator Lagarde.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I know that you told me we should end at 5. It's 5:40, but just short question. The others will be for next Monday. May I know definition of terms? Because these terms were not mentioned today, but it's very important. I've been hearing it. Allocable and non-allocable. Pakipaliwanag po, allocable, yung sa akin diksyonaryo, no, I was a journalist and everything, alam ko yung word allocated, allocation, allocable and non-allocable. And I'm sure you know about it because this is discussed in every congressional district. And this was a practice in the previous administration, which the good secretary in private has told me that you don't agree. But kami na naging congressman dati, gusto ko maintindihan. Ano ba yung allocable? And can you kindly submit to us the allocable? And what is non-allocable? And please submit to us for our view the non-allocable. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. Yes, we've discussed this in private, just so that there's
Mr. Chair, Madam Senator, if I may just give a very truthful and frank answer. Hindi ko po naiintindihan kung ano ang ibig sabihin ng allocable at non-allocable. To be quite honest, I was just informed this was implemented, I think in 2022 ba? I'm not sure. No, hanggang ngayon po. Hanggang ito po sa budget na to.
Yeah, in this budget.
Yes. Pero hindi ko po maintindihan. Tinanong ko po si dating Undersecretary Cathy Cabral kung ano ibig sabihin niyan. Hindi ko po naintindihan yung kanyang explanation, to be quite frank. Hanggang ngayon po, hindi ko pa rin po naiintindihan. No, I will be very, very honest. Kaya para sa akin po, at nung nagkaroon po tayo ng panibagong Undersecretary for Planning, ngayon po si Undersecretary Nick Contina, ang unang-una ko po sinabi sa kanya, scrap yan kasi unang-una wala po atang nakakaintindi dyan outside of USEC Cathy Cabral. No, to be quite frank, Mr. Chairman, no, and this really needs to change because if no one understands it, and even ako po, kahit paano naman po, nag-aral po ako ng economics, nag-aral po ako ng finance, pero kahit anong pag-iwanag po sa akin, hindi ko po talaga naiintindihan. And I think it needs to change. It needs to be scrapped altogether.
Mr. Chair, because this was very recent and this is contained in the NEP and GAB of 2026. And we know that the DPWH has a list of the allocable and the non-allocable. In my own research, meron po kayo. Sigurado po ako. That's okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Kasi each district congressman was told about an allocable and a non-allocable. Honestly, I just hear about it and nag-uusap nga kami, naging congressman, hindi ko maintindihan.
Same here, Mr. Chairman.
But in my research, the allocable would mean what's allocated for the district and the non-allocable would mean, I'm sure you know, somebody in this room would know. So it's important, nasa NEP may allocable, tapos meron non-allocable na hindi daw pwedeng galawin or ilipat ng congressman. I mean, we talked about it with the chair and with his permission, I asked this question because we have to be forthright about it so that we will understand. I am sure somebody in this room will be able to explain to us.
I'm speaking po to
Yes.
incoming Assistant Secretary, now Director Alex
Okay,
Bote.
para po maintindihan. Kasi
Siguro po he would be in the best position to at least explain what this means and then what is the implication.
Nice, Director Alex.
thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Actually, on the basis of establishing budget po kasi, when we were on board po dito sa planning stage, there is some data and figures stated doon po sa mga legislative districts. And this was only happened as far as I see and I observe in this onboarding of this administration, doon pong pagpasok po nung ni Secretary before. Tama po si Honorable Senator Loren Legarda na may mga establishments po ng figures. Roughly, yung binabanggit po ni Secretary tungkol dun sa parametric formula, they derive those figures on the parametric formula na medyo napakahirap nga pong intindihin. Kasi nung pag-onboard ko rin po dito sa planning service, nung binabasa ko, hirap din po ako i-explain siya further. Yung po yung mga considerations ng factors ng mga populations, land area, and economics and something. Now, with the establishments of such, yun na po yung nakita namin na sinundan that the all legislative members, they know that yun po yung figure na possible na maging ceiling nila, na possible po na maging ceiling. Yes po. Tapos,
Sige, okay.
Opo.
I get you. Maliwanag, maayos
Yes.
po magpaliwanag si Director Bote. ASEC, okay. So ito po yung basihan ng NEP. Yung sabi natin na may formula, population, land area, kung ano man. Okay. So yung NEP level, ang ceiling sa kada distrito, allocable. Yun ang alokasyon. Ibig sabihin pa, ganun ba ho?
kung if you will, may Sir Jen, if you will adapt on such, yung po yung lumalabas na sort of a ceiling lang po na isang legislative district. But tinitingnan din po natin yan. Ito po, when we revise the NEP, doon po yung punto na dinisregard na po namin ng medyo sinet aside natin Kasi hindi po ba na tinanggal natin ang flood control and all projects na nag-arrive na pumasok dito sa revised step as per our 6 days review, we return all this list of projects to the implementing units in a way for them to tell us, ito bang nakalistang proyekto na to are all implementable. Then implementing units return docs to us in a day lang po, 24 hours. And then they declare and certify those projects na na implementable. Parang nawala na po ng konti yung touch ng allocable po ron sa aming assessment. Pero talking about the allocable and something, yung straight po, yung po yung lumalabas na ceiling ng bawat legislative district. Medyo malapit-lapit lang po doon sa parametric formula na napakahirap lang po talagang
It's the allocation of
target po na
legislative district, but we do not know the formula kung paano narating yon.
We have a booklet basis, but it's quite hard to understand. Kumbaga kasi if you will observe, ma'am, with due respect po, for example, in every district, for example, ang allocable po dyan nakita natin something like 900 million or 800 million. But you will observe that this district, yung sa legislative district na yon, ang request po nila mga 4 billion, 3 billion, might be yung po siguro ang purpose why the previous set a ceiling on such kasi malamang po ganun po yung naging decision.
May ceiling kundi forever ang hihingi.
Yes, yes,
syempre sa needs ng tao. So maliwanag po, yun po yung allocable, pero yung hindi po maliwanag sa amin yung formula. Kasi ang laki ng disparity, yun yung sinasabi ko. May mga nagsimula na sa 5 billion, may mga, pareho pa kami, eksakto, 1.1. Yung pinanggalingan namin distrito. May mga, yung di marunong humingi, mababa. So, okay, ito po yung allocable. So, yung allocation na ceiling. Yung non-allocable. Meron pong mga non-allocable, pero nandun sa distrito, sigurado akong meron sa kwartong ito, alam yun. Definition of terms lang po. Kanina pa tayo nagtatalo sa meron pong non-allocable pero nandun pa rin sa district. Sabihin na nyo, alam naman ninyo Importante po itong hearing kasi kung di nagtatanungan kami dalawa, naghuhulaan kami. Alam po namin kasi alam naman namin sa house rin, alam naman nila yung mga ibig sabihin nun Importante lang magkaintindihan para...
Madam, Mr. Chairman, Madam Senator, maybe we can ask Director Bote again, since I think nasatisfy naman po kayo dun sa una niyang pagkakapaliwanag. So, ipaliwanag na rin po.
Pero medyo nakin ako, yung allocable, yung ceiling, para hindi naman sobrang umasa ang representante o mga tao kasi kung hindi ang hihingin, mataas. Okay lang yun. Talagang maraming hinihingi, maraming pangangailangan. Walang masama po dun. Opo. Yung non-allocable, ano po yun?
Director Alex.
Thank you for the opportunity, Mr. Chair. Yung non-allocable po natin, ito naman po, definitely, ito yung beyond the allocable. Kasi if you will observe, Mr. Chair, for example, on the previous year that we have the budget proposal, mga 900 po yata ron, around 400 to 500 po lumalabas, estimatedly. Yun ang tina-target natin, almost 40 to 50%. Yun po yung mag-enter dun sa allocable natin. Beyond, mostly yung po yung mga core projects na po natin or yung pong pumapasok dun sa aming application na SDM4, yung validation po yung napag-usapan po natin beforehand tungkol dun sa mga tulay na nai-inventaryo natin along Maharlika Highway, N1, and our yung maintenance po natin and other capital outlays po, yung pambili natin ng equipment, yun po yun. Yung allocable mostly, yung po kasi talagang nakafocus yun sa civil works component po natin. Really for the construction. Non-allocable are for our core and counterparts of the foreign and all and everything, the purchase of the, for example, equipments, opo, yun po yun, yung mga core po natin, more on high level of and yun po yun. Yung, kumbaga, yun po yung medyo identified as big ticket.
Engineering terms ba ito? Engineering terms? Economic terms? Or invention? Kasi, teka, ano?
As far, may I miss? As far as I know, this is a formulation of management of budget po lang ang tingin ko dito Kasi nga, if you will not put ceiling on every legislative district, pag tinignan nyo po natin, masyado pong, ang makikita naman po natin, alam nating 1 billion, dumarating request 4 billion, 3 billion, something ganon. So maybe that
Masama
Yeah.
kaya hindi tayo dapat magtago sa definition of terms dahil iniintindi.
Yeah.
So ang allocable, yung allocation para ito lang ang pwede nyong hingin, hanggang dito lang. Ang question mark po ngayon ay ano kaya ang pinagbasehan ng ating inaaral na NEP 2026 at ano kaya ang pwede natin i-correct na magiging formula nyo sa NEP 2027, hindi na yung allocable formula ng ginawa kasi masyadong ang disparity. Opo. Tapos sabi po nyo, para naintindihan ko lang, yung non-allocable, hindi po yung alokasyon ng district representante, kundi yung regional or central o nationwide. Let's say may highway na dadaan, ganun. Okay. So, para po mapag-aralan namin buong linggo hanggang sa next hearing po, paki-submit lang ang aming yung allocable and non-allocable based on NEP 2026. Because we have I have a copy here actually, I can share it with him, of some districts na allocable and non-allocable. Pero to be fair, because the others are asking me for the copies, I want an official copy. I know that you have because I have the allocable and non-allocable of some districts. May I kindly request for a copy? DPWH, every district engineer would have it. Sigurado po ako. I have 2 regions of allocable and non-allocable. Hindi naman siguro masama yung hinihingi namin kasi yun ang pinag-usapan namin kanina. This is NEP. I have the NEP allocable and non-allocable. Di ba nakatingin kayo sa akin, si Neri? Alam nyo yan. Dear, alam nyo naman yan. Di ba masama Di ba? It's for our learning. Di ba? Kasi naging chair ako ng finance noon, hindi ko alam lahat ito. Ngayon ko, ang program nga, hindi ko nalaman noon Walang masama. Di ba naging congressman? Alam mo ba yung allocable non-allocable? Hindi mo tinuro sa akin yan. Ayun mo. Oo nga Oo, ngayon ko lang narinig. Yeah. Yes.
Mr. Chair, we will submit, Madam
Yes.
Madam Senator. We will submit. I mean, there's
Walang
this has to be
masama.
completely transparent.
At saka walang masama.
Even if we all don't understand what it means.
Hindi. Kasi ganito.
If former Undersecretary Cabral,
Sec Vin, so that you understand. Sa katandaan ko to, I'm a forever learner. Ang tawag doon? Lifelong learning. I don't think it's too late for me to understand, even if I became chair of finance for 5 years and I've been here since 1998. Kundi magpapaturo ko kay Alpruto ng allocable at non-allocable. Pero, Director Bote, turuan nyo ako para maintindihan ko. Walang masama. Maganda naman yung sinabi nyo. Dapat may allocable kasi kung hindi, totoo yan. Ito, naging chairman ako ng finance, yung mga amendments ng senators, minsan 10B, 20B, paano ko magagawa lahat yan? Hindi. Hanggang dyan lang kayo. Maliwanag, walang masama po dun. Ngayon, yung non-allocable, maayos din yung sinabi po nyo na ito yung mga hindi naman nasa district, pero iba, kailangan bigyan. Okay lang po. So you may give it to us so that we can study it. For all you know, he'll even retain it. Diba? We just want to understand it better. Yeah. Walang masama. Right?
tama po, ma'am.
You know, the reason why I brought it, ako na ang nagsabi, bulungan kami ng bulungan. Tapos sabi, kasi he has a brother na congressman. I have a brother na Kong. May anak ako. So, we don't understand those things, but we hear it from other people. He's asking me, I'm asking him. Sabi ko, can I ask it? Sabi, yes, please be the one to ask it. I hope you don't mind. Yeah.
Madam, Mr. Chairman, Madam Senator, we don't mind at all. You know, this needs to be completely transparent.
How can we adequately study the budget if there are things kept from us na allocable and non-allocable? And I think ASEC Bote said it very unemotionally and as clearly as he can. And I don't find anything wrong. Yes.
Thank you po, Madam Senator. Mr. Chairman.
Tama. Yung hindi dapat pakalaman ng congressman kasi national project, tama naman, di ba? Or hindi pwedeng galawin. Maliwanag naman, di ba? There's nothing wrong. Yes. In fact, I can flash on the screen, pero wag na siguro. I have a copy of some districts na allocable, hindi allocable, I have. Pero gusto ko manggagaling sa inyo. Yeah. So, maybe that can be given by this afternoon or tomorrow. Yeah. By tomorrow. Sige po. Yeah, sige po. Yeah. Then I have more questions about other matters. But that would be for next hearing because he said it's still 6 o'clock. Yeah. Yeah, I hope.
Thank you so much.
We're clear. I mean, we have a different research, different bands of questioning, but this is really all to help the system and to help the new secretary, who's not an engineer. None of us are. And so that, because I see some people parang cringing, parang galit. Huwag naman po kayo magalit. We're trying to, yeah.
Ma'am, I don't think engineering has anything to do with these terms and
Yeah.
these formula. But rest assured, number one, we will submit what you
Yeah.
requested. And second of all, this complicated, confusing system must change.
Never tinanong ko na sa'yo in private
Yes.
eh. Tapos sabi mo, hindi ko maintindihan. Parang hindi ko matanggap na may bagay akong hindi ko maintindihan.
Tama po.
Tapos akong tinatanong ng chair, dahil laging chair ako noon 5 taon, ano ba yun? Hindi ko rin masagot. Sa inyo ko na tinanong, ang sekreto pala na kay Director Bote, naintindihan
Hindi
niya.
naman po secret.
Hindi sekreto. Ang definition of terms. Pero,
Parang siya lang po ang nakakaintindi sa aming lahat,
usap tayo.
Madam Chair.
Intindihin mo. Kasi, pailing-iling pa yung chair, hindi pa rin namin maintindihan. Opo. Pero, i-Merriam Webster ko yung mga terms. Wala.
Po, isang tao lang po nag-invento noon namin. Mr.
Wala
Chairman,
sa Merriam
Madam.
Webster.
Tingin ko po wala din.
Aking pagagaling na staff, ba't wala sa briefer ko yun eh. Yun na nga. So I hope you don't mind. And no, I am grateful because in this hearing, we gained a lot, you know. I mean, Sec Vince and Chair and everyone. Imagine your commitment of lowering the DUPA, your commitment of improving the costings, and we gained 10,000 classrooms. I mean, if there's anything we gained here, it's more than 10,000 classrooms. In addition, I think that's a big accomplishment, right, for the Filipino people. And the findings of 271B, sabi ko may pagkukunan ka na yung hinihingi ng SUCs at ng DepEd at ng UPPGH na pagkukunan. Again, without being accusatory, we're not blaming anybody. We just want to understand the process, and you help us. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman, Madam Chair, Madam Senator. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, just to summarize, hindi ko rin kayang paliwanag sa'yo. They'll just give us the list of the allocable, non-allocable. Pero in definition of terms, i-memo na lang po nyo sa chair. Allocable ito. Kasi ang non-allocable ito, hindi ko rin mahahanap sa Merriam-Webster. So, i-definition of terms sa alam po ni Asec Bote. Opo. Tapos i-definition of terms na rin nyo yung leadership fund. Dahil naging chair ako ng finance ng 5 taon, hindi naman ako tinuturuan ng mga yan. Hindi ko rin alam yun. So kung maaari, i-definition of terms nyo kung gusto nyo mag-memo. Mag-memo sa chair. Diba? Okay.
Parang nakuha ko kay Director Bote. In short, ang non-allocable is no touch. Tama? Ang allocable is pwede touch. Tama ba? I mean, in simple terms. In simple terms. Tama ba, Director Alex? Ngayon ko lang, nakikinig ako kanina eh. Diba? Kasi ang non-allocable is the core projects ng DPWH, national highways. Yung allocable, I would assume, mga local projects yan. No? Mostly, diba? Yung local projects. Yun ang the way I understand it, the way I understand it. Tama ba, Director Alex? Tama ba yung aking simple analogy?
Okay, mali ka.
Sige, i-ano nyo para to put on record. Yung non-allocable, no touch, kasi yan yung pang national. Ang allocable is pwedeng touch, pero kasi local yun.
But yung allocable po natin, composition din po yun ng mga local, yung mga basic infra, CPAG, and or yung mga OO1 or OO2 may tumapasok.
Oo nga, na pwede niyong palitan, di ba? Pwede niyong palitan, pwede kayo mag-suggest.
Mostly, Mr. Chair, yung allocable pong tinatawag came from the request from the may support po ng legislative, but whenever there is a letter unto the central office, ang ginagawa po natin doon, binabalik po natin niya sa implementing units for them to validate kung implementable po siya.
Shuffle ready.
Opo, ganun din po. These are mostly covers medyo big in magnitude po siya. Produkto po siya ng mga applications namin na yung nabanggit po natin kanina, nag-iinventaryo tayo ng mga tulay kung dapat nating palitan, sort of mga ganong approach po, Madam Chair.
Would you consider other proponents of other districts in the non-allocable? Hindi naman po. Yung sinasabing parking, hindi ko rin alam, hindi nyo tinuturo sa parking. Non-allocable ba yun? Iba pa yun.
There might be a chance po, Mr. Chair, kasi sa pag binabalik po natin yung request sa implementing units, they will tell us kung viable siya, feasible, economically viable na ipagawa po natin ang proyekto. So, why is it na hindi natin i-consider, di po ba, Mr. Chair? Ganun lang po naman.
Medyo nakukuha ko na. So, just ano na lang yung request ni Senator Lauren. So, Secretary, I consulted with some senators. They requested to have one more hearing on this coming Monday, and we'll use that opportunity to clean up yung errata or yung resubmission ng DPWH, particularly yung 4 na red flags na ipinakita natin. Let's use this opportunity to clean up. Ang gusto natin pagdating ng Monday, klaro na itong wala na itong mga red flags, klaro na itong mga projects na ito. And then may request rin si Senator Lauren na mabigyan na rin ng updated CMPD and updated DUPA on Monday. No?
Mr. Chair, if I may po, no, yung pong paglinis ng mga na-mention, and again, we would like to thank the Chair for his efforts, and we will get the list from the Chair staff para po mas mabilis na ma-address yung red flag 1 and red flag 4. No, yung red flag 2 naman po, we leave that up to committee already. Anyway, mga 40 lang naman po yun, no? At kung mamarapati po, tanggalin na po agad yun. No? On the red flag 1 and red flag 4, red flag 1, we will do our best to station even the local roads. But kung hindi po matapos yung iba, then we leave it up to the committee po na itanggalin na rin po yun. No? Para po in the interest of transparency at para masigurado na klaro po lahat. No? At tama po yung mga proyekto. Sa red flag 4 naman po, marami-rami po yun, but we will assign, nandito po mga regional directors natin, lahat po ng implementing units ay kailangang i-justify, no? Yung mga alleged duplicate or yung mga project na nag-repeat, no, na napondohan na dati, bakit may pondo pa ngayon? Kung hindi po ma-justify yon, then we will also leave it up to the committee na tanggalin po yung mga proyektong yon. At dahil po dyan, tingin ko po is marami pong mga pondo ng mga kababayan natin ang masisave at kahit papano ma-assure natin na talagang ginawa po natin lahat para masigurado na hindi na po mauulit itong mga nangyari natin noong nakaraan. And finally, Mr. Chair, I just want to end by just saying the President has repeatedly said, no, that number 1, we need to ensure that there is accountability from top to bottom sa DPWH. And gagawin po natin yan. And in the next few days and weeks, makikita din po naman ng ating Senado at ng ating mga kababayan yung mga gagawin natin dyan. But equally, if not even more important, yung pong mga reforma na gagawin natin. At yan po ay lahat po ng mga reformang na-mention ko po kanina ay alinsunod po lahat yan sa direktiba ng Pangulo na linisin po and change DPWH for years to come para hindi na po maulit lahat ng ito. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair. and Madam
Thank you,
Senator.
Secretary.
Thank you po.
And nakikita namin yung determination mo para maiayos yung budget natin for 2026 na kahit na masakripisyo yung sarili mong budget, willing ka basta lang hindi maulit yung corruption at ma-promote natin yung transparency for 2026. And we commend you for that, no? Kasi nga it starts with the budget. Kung mali na yung 2026 budget natin, sigurado yung implementation problema na tayo kaagad. At mauulit na naman itong nakikita natin. Kaya kami dito sa Senado, talagang iniisa-isa namin yung mga proyekto para masigurado at maging ma-assure natin yung mga senador na peperma nitong budget na ito na maayos at pinag-usapan ng mabuti yung DPWH budget. At higit sa lahat, hindi na mauulit yung mga nangyari sa mga huling taon. So, we commend you for that. Yes.
Heads up lang, wala na wala na yung cat's eye, pero meron pa palang street lights pero overpriced. But this is Nasugbu Tagaytay Road, so Region 4A to. Yeah. Anyway, that's part of the
Madam,
things.
Mr. Chairman, pag na-address na po natin yung pagbaba ng lupa, ma-address na po yan.
Yeah.
Kasi po, pagka nababa na natin ang cost of materials at naitama na natin, then yung pong matitipid dyan, magiging savings po ng gobyerno.
Just for the record, 230,000 per unit, pero ang market price, 60,000 per unit. So, there's an overprice again.
Maraming salamat po
Yeah,
for that. And we will make sure na maayos po yan.
Hindi pa sa mga street light, hinihingi ng tao yan. Inaano ko lang yung
Overprice.
overprice lang.
Tama.
Kasi nasa GAA 2025 ngayong taon, baka nasa 2026 titignan pa natin. So, kung hindi pa nyo nababayaran yung supplier, tawaran nyo. 'Di ba?
Opo.
Oo.
Yan po ay kung di pa po nabibid dyan, talagang pagka nag-adjust po tayo ay maapektuhan po yan.
And I must say, Mr. Chair, salamat sa team mo rin. Napaka masiyasat, ang galing ng mga research, and thank you for the openness of the mind of the chair. And I thank Secretary Dizon and his team, both the old Vince. Kinakausap kita. Vince, pinapasalamatan kita.
Ay, sorry po.
So,
Pasensya na po. Nagbibigay na po ako ng instruction kasi 1 week lang po itang deadline natin.
Thank Secretary Vince Dizon, who I've known for more than 20 years. Thank you for your openness. Please understand, we're just trying to help you. And Yusek Conti and everyone else, salamat po. I don't even know who's new and who's old. But really, thank you so much to everyone who's here. Please understand us. We're rising up to the challenge that the President himself said in his SONA. So we're trying our best. And we just have to do all of this and more. Kasi nga, pipirma yung chair. Kaya nga sabi niya, join me sa budget. Siyang pipirma. Paano siya mag-sponsor? How will he defend all that if he don't understand what will be asked of him? Yeah. May sakit pa si Ping Lacson ngayon. Si Senator Lacson, pag walang sakit yan, mas maraming tanong. Anyway, I'm just... So thank you so much to the team.
Thank you,
Thank you, Madam Chair. But before I end po, let me just give you also a rundown of the various reform measures that we are currently doing now. Alam niyo naman po, mahigit 1 buwan pa lang po tayong nakaupo kasama at yung pong iba nating bagong team, linggo pa lang po ang binibilang nila dito. But I think if I may just mention a few of the major reforms that we are currently undertaking, let me start with the reforms on ensuring accountability. Now that is, I think, the first step. We need to make sure, according to the President, paulit-ulit po niyang sinasabi, wala po tayong sisinuhin, wala po tayong sasantuhin, top to bottom po ang ating magiging cleansing. And we are doing that right now. Obviously, the first reform are the filing of cases. That is unprecedented, Mr. Chairman. No, and I think you will see in the next few weeks and months of the sheer volume of cases that are going to be filed against people who are responsible within the department, who are responsible for this really unprecedented anomalies that have been done in the past years. And we are doing this closely with the Independent Commission for Infrastructure and the Office of the Ombudsman and the DOJ. So yan po, meron na po tayong unang case na final sa Ombudsman, 1 buwan na ang nakalipas. Ito po ay pinangako na po ni Ombudsman Boying Remulla, ang ating bagong Ombudsman, na bibilisan na po ito na ma-file sa Sandigan Bayan. Ito po yung kaso sa 1st District of Bulacan. May mga susunod pong kaso na ifa-file na rin ngayong linggong ito involving other projects. Pangalawa po doon, yung final ng ICI sa Ombudsman, yung pong kaso sa Oriental Mindoro involving several DPWH personnel and involving contractors such as SunWest Corporation as well as the other companies of the Diskaya family. Meron din pong mga iba pang ifa-file sa mga susunod na araw ngayong linggo. Ayoko na lang pong pangunahan ng ICI doon, but you will expect those cases to be filed already in the coming days. Apart from filing of cases, we have also instituted a sweeping review of officials within DPWH from top to bottom. We have already issued several show cause orders whenever I think a total of, sure, Yusek Rico, more than 20 show cause orders already for various DPWH personnel across the country. No, iba't iba pong, this is not limited to Bulacan or Luzon. Marami na po tayong in-issue at yan po ay umaandar na ang proseso. Alam niyo naman po, lalo na para sa ating mga opisyales na under civil service, meron po tayong proseso dyan at kailangan po nating sundin ang prosesong yan. At the same time, we are right now in the process of instituting reforms sa ating human resources. No, we will now start with a review of policies to ensure that DPWH becomes truly a meritocracy. No, at hindi lang ma-appoint dahil kilala si ganito, kilala si ganyan, recommended ni ganito, recommended ni ganyan. Kailangan po dadaan po sa masusing pag-review ang mga applications. Today, we opened up applications to 2,000 vacant positions in DPWH. And lahat po, pati mga job order, pwedeng mag-apply dito. At magpalabas po kami ng guidelines sa tulong na rin po ng dating mga secretaries of the department, si Secretaries Babe Singson at Ping De Jesus. Tinutulungan po nila kami ngayon para magbuo at magbalangkas ng bagong rules on meritocracy. So yan po ang ginagawa po namin ngayon. Ikalawa po, meron po tayong kinakailangan gawin sa planning at budgetary reform. At si Undersecretary, bagong talagang Undersecretary Nick Conti, na pumalit po kay former Undersecretary Cabral, yan po ang kanyang trabaho ngayon. Paano natin masisigurado na ang planning at budgetary process ay maayos, transparent, at i-reflect po talaga ang pangangailangan ng ating mga distrito, ng ating mga probinsya, ng ating mga rehiyon. No, we are completely scrapping the formulas that were initially explained to both the Committees on Finance and the Blue Ribbon Committee on allocable and non-allocable. We are scrapping all of that and we will simplify the formulas and the process by which projects get to the National Expenditure Program. Yan po ay riripasuhin natin completely para sa darating na budget sa 2027. So yan po ay ongoing, hindi po ito madali, hindi po ito mabilis kasi marami pong kailangang ayusin dito, but we are very well, we will really welcome po any suggestions that may come from the honorable members of the Committee on Appropriations and the Philippine Senate. Ikatlo po, kailangan po din natin ireforma ang procurement process ng DPWH. No? Kailangan pong ireforma ang procurement dahil dito po nakita natin ang maraming mga pagkukulang at loophole. At Mr. Chairman, if you would allow me to take this opportunity to thank Senator Bam Aquino, because in the Blue Ribbon hearing that I attended personally, siya po ay nagbigay ng napakagandang suhestyon na mag-file ng mga kaso laban sa mga kontratista na naging involved sa bid rigging sa Philippine Competition Commission. At yun po ay napakagandang development at ginawa po namin yun agad-agad. We have filed 12 cases with the PCC already, and Mr. Chairman, Senator Bam, we will be filing more. We will be filing more. And ano po yun, it sends a strong message that we will not tolerate bid rigging. Kasi po mabigat po ang parusa na yon. 110 million for first offense at 250 million, up to 250 million for future offenses. So mabigat po yon at hindi po namin tatantanan yan, Mr. Chairman, Senator Bam. But apart from that, we will also institute reforms that will bring about transparency and really I don't think we need to make new laws or new regulations. I think especially now with the passage of RA 12009, the amended Government Procurement Act, everything is already there. We just need to make sure that all these laws, regulations are followed strictly. So we will be doing that as well. Yan po ay kasama po si Undersecretary Conti at yung ating procurement service. At kailangan din po natin ikaapat ng reforma sa implementation and monitoring of projects. No, meron tayong, nandito po si Undersecretary Ador Canlas at si Undersecretary Arthur Bisnar. Sila po ang ating dalawang Undersecretaries for Operations. Sila po ngayon ay talagang masusi ng nag-aaral kung paano natin may ensure na may implement ng tama ang mga project at more importantly, mamomonitor ng tama ang mga proyektong to para wala na pong magiging ghost project sa DPWH from now on. Lastly po, we also need to monitor yung pong pagbabayad. Kasama din po, no? Kasi marami po tayong nakita dito. Mga project na sinabing kompleto na, pero either wala at all yung proyektong yon or hindi pa kompleto, pero fully paid na. Halimbawa po, no, pasensya na po kayo at this was a of a public outburst on my end, pero talaga pong sino ba naman po ang hindi magagalit kapag meron pong district engineer na nagsabi sa inyo na kung siya ay nagpagawa ng bahay, hindi niya babayaran ng kontratista hanggat hindi natatapos ang bahay niya, pero yung project na hindi pa tapos, sinabi niya, inamin niya na okay lang magbayad kasi nangako naman daw po ang contractor na tatapusin niya. Yun po ang sinabi sa akin. No, live television pa po noon. No, sino ba naman po ang hindi magagalit sa ganong klaseng pag-iisip? No, so kailangan din pong reformahin yun. No, at to make sure that we have checks and balances, especially in the final payments of projects and also in the progress billings of projects to make sure that the responsibilities of the contractors are met before payments are made. So with that po, yun po yung 5 mga reformang ginagawa natin ngayon. We would be more than willing po to present to you once we have some very clear directions already on those reforms. But my request only po is we will also be given some time kasi hindi po biro ito. Sorry po, last na lang. Yung pinaka-importante na reformang ginagawa namin ngayon. Tinawag na rin po ito ni Senator Win Gatchalian, tinawag din po ito ni Congressman Rian Reviste na kailangan ibaba natin ang cost of materials ng DPWH. Kasi marami po dito mataas sa totoong cost of materials all over the country. We are also doing that now. We are reviewing the CMPD and also the DUPA, which is based on the CMPD. No, the cost of materials. Kailangan po nating reviewin to. In fact, ito po ay ginagawa ngayon natin ongoing at malapit na po tayong ilabas ito sa mga susunod na linggo. So with that po, maraming salamat po Mr. Chairman, honorable members of the Committee on Finance, and we will be ready and willing to answer any questions you may have. God bless po at maraming salamat po.
Thank you very much, Secretary Dizon. We recognize the presence of Senator Lauren Legarda and Senator Bamakino. And in order of arrival, we will start off with Senator J.V. Orcito for his questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning, Secretary Dizon and the new DPWH family. I agree with the observation of our chair of Committee on Finance. Although we have started sana excited sana ko the DOTR budget to be working with you, Secretary Dizon. Kaya lang iba yung plano no. We know for a fact we share the same advocacies, yung talagang massive infrastructure development will really stimulate economic growth. Kaya lang na iba yung plano. I share the sentiments of Senator Win Gatchalian. Si Secretary Dizon nung nagsimula, isa sa parang top pang GQ yung executive. Batang-bata, 'di ba? Ito, very aggressive, very defendable. Ngayon mukha nang nag-age na kayo ng ilang buwan pa lang. Mukha ng mad scientist. Naalala ko yung Back to the Future. Yung buhok nyo, sabog-sabog na. Naawa ako sa... sabog-sabog na, no? Pero I understand the challenges that you are facing right now and I don't envy your position right now. Although I honestly miss you, no? Doon sa DOTR kasi talagang we had our plans. Nag-ready na nga tayo for our yung ating po mga ipaprioritize sa mga railway, mga airports, yung po mga ating mga advokasya. Anyway, first of all, siguro a lot we will be discussing today yung mga reforms and I'm glad you already started your reforms that will be introducing in the DPWH, considering that ito pong talagang scandal that really rocked this nation recently is probably the biggest scandal that rocked his history and people are really longing for answers, no? Siguro doon lang po sa mga notorious na district engineering offices in our investigation during the Blue Ribbon, siguro we will submit to you our findings also para lang din for your information and so that it can help you in your reforms that you will institute. Doon po sa Bulacan, the notorious district engineering office and I don't know kung nangyari dito sa Bindoro, meron po sila rin progress billing. Now, I was also a developer before. Ang pagkakaintindi ko, pag may progress billing, according to accomplishments. Pero dito pa sa Bulacan, kahit na 30% pa lang ang progress billing, pinipilit na ng assistant DE pa lang noon, sila Bryce at iba ng mga talagang nagmodus na kahit 50% na pipilitin nila 50% ng inyong ideklara kasi nandito na yung budget, kailangan namin gastusin. So, in the same manner that napamura ka, alam ko yun, maiinis ka talaga. Imagine, 30% pa lang accomplishment, pero yung mismong DE mismo or assistant DE sabi, hindi, 50% ng mo. Yung contractor mismo, ang nagkukumahog, paano ko gagawin to? 50% na yung kukolektahin and yet 30% pa lang yung aming accomplishment. So that's one. And second, of course, yung borrowing of license, no? We know that that has been notorious. Inamin naman po yan ng maraming some contractors like si Sims, no? Talagang she was really open at pointed to those who sila Bryce and JP Mendoza who really forced her to lend their licenses. Otherwise, syempre, kung contractor ka, matatakot kapag kung DE or assistant DE yung humingi, baka hindi ka nabigyan ng project. So those are the things that siguro may iba pa kami ibibigay for the reforms and I'm sure that my colleagues will also be asking about that. Now, going back dun sa ating pong same advocacy when you were still DOTR secretary, yung pong lahat ng problema doon sa Central Luzon, I think yung, for example, yung flooding in Central Luzon, every same period for the last 3 years, nagkakaroon po ng hearing dito because of flooding. Now, because Central Luzon is a catch basin, water from Sierra Madre coming down, dapat mailabas ng Manila Bay. No? Ang nangyayari po, with the 350 billion peso budget, Mr. Chair, every year, that's 1 billion peso a day. Ganun po yung budget ng flood control for DPWH. Ang nangyayari siguro, with that budget, all districts would want to have a piece of that budget. So, sa halip na sana, kung masundan na yung master plan for flood control in Central Luzon, siguro with that budget, by now, siguro malaki na improvement. Ang nangyayari po, lahat ng distrito gusto kumuha ng portion of that budget, pinagpira-piraso, nangyari po, patsi-patsi po ang mga flood control projects. Sa halip na floodways, no, massive floodways, spillways, water impounding, dams, and pumping stations ang dapat na ating pong ginagawa. Ang nangyari po, slow protection, river revetment, di ba? Drainage improvement, pinagpati-hatian, nangyari po patsi-patsi, kaya hindi nawawala ang tubig. Do you agree, Secretary Dizon? Ganito po ang nangyari.
Mr. Chairman, you are absolutely correct po sa inyong observations. Ganun po talaga ang nangyari.
And with that, Sec, I have my top priority bill that I filed in this Congress and as well in the last Congress is the Master Plan for Infrastructure for National Development. Ito po yung comprehensive Master Plan for Infrastructure Development. And I'm glad, Mr. Chair, that it has been included already in the LEDAC priority of measures. No? Ang ano po natin dito, those projects that are national in nature, that are national in significance, for example po, railway system, yung mga main national highways, mga dams, flood control, pag national po, dapat tuloy-tuloy. Whoever sits as president, ang ano ko po rito, sana we hit two birds with one stone, no? You know, ang ating po political system kasi siguro, 6 years and 3 years, presidents will always look at their legacies. Kumbaga, short term and medium term. Nakakalimutan po natin yung long term through the decades. Kaya nga po yung railway system, 30 years na tayong behind, no? In terms of railway system compared to our ASEAN neighbors, yung mga skyways and all. So, yung rationale po nito, whoever sits as president, all of these big ticket items dapat tuloy-tuloy, no? Again, railways, skyways, dams. Siguro po yung mga presidente may sariling mga pet programs, but all of these big ticket items should be continuous because this will stimulate economic growth. Ano kaya yun?
Senator JV, we were advised that today we will have our earthquake drill starting at 11. Tamang-tama nga, DPWH nandito. No? So we'll request everyone to leave the building. Kasama tayo, ma'am. We requested for an exemption, but the Office of the Senate President did not allow. So everyone should vacate this room and go down to the building. We'll come back after a few minutes.
Ngayon, ikaw, bilang Pilipino, ano ang masasabi mo at reaksyon sa balitang ito? Mag-iwan ka ng komento sa ibaba at atin pong babasahin isa-isa.